Rockford's home for classic rock is 96.7. The Eagle up the road in Janesville, Wisconsin this Thursday night. It's Geoff Tate's Operation Mindcrime and the man, the voice himself, joining us on the phone. Geoff, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate this.
Captain Jack, nice to be here, man. How are you?
Very good. So let's start with this one because I have so much to ask you. I've been a fan for so long, and I've been I go through like this checklist of questions to ask people that I get really excited about, and then I'm like, okay, you have to narrow this down so the interview doesn't last 6 days. But 2017, here we are. What motivates a guy like you? What motivates a musician that's been doing this for years? And it's not like you have to prove anything to us. I mean, you're Geoff Tate. I mean, we know the track record. What motivates you to keep going and doing what you're doing in 2017?
I love it. I absolutely love performing, and I love touring. I love traveling around the country. I've been doing it a long time. I've got friends all over the world, and it's a great excuse to drop in and see all my friends.
And you know what? The funny thing is, I was looking at the lineup and the people that you have in your band. And the last time you were through this area, the last time you were in the Rockford area, I remember you had Rudy Sarzo was playing bass with you, and it always seems that you always have such quality musicians with you. I mean, you're a legendary voice and a guy that just an amazing singer, but you always seem to have such great accompaniment too.
Well, I try to. I try to keep the band interesting. The whole concept of this band is to really keep changing it up and having different personnel in it. And so every time I come through, I try to have a different band each time. And I'm playing in Europe with a different band than I am in South America. I'm playing with a different band, and so it keeps things real interesting for me, and because I get to play with a lot of different people, and I like that.
I was going to ask, what does that mean to you as a musician, as a singer, as a vocalist, to have different people in the bands at all time, kind of a different vibe, different drummers, different guitar players have different ways of doing things. I mean, that's got to kind of make you happy and kind of keep you on your toes a little bit too, I would imagine.
Yeah, and it's fun to hear their interpretations of my work.
Sure.
Too. And just hear how differently different musicians hear it, and I try to give them the freedom to experiment with the arrangements and with the parts to a certain extent.
Sure.
Have fun with it and kind of try to make the part your own. Give it your feel, your spin, your interpretation.
Geoff Tate's Operation Mindcrime up the road in Janesville this Thursday night at the Back Bar. He's joining us right now. I want to go back, just a couple of years. The Operation Mindcrime. Do you think just because this took on such a life of its own, do you think it would be possible in this day and age for a new band to come out and do something of that magnitude, to do something with such a level of going so many different directions with the theatrics and the music and just everything that was? Do you think it would be possible for a new band in this day and age to do something that would come close to that, to equal something like Operation Mindcrime?
Well, I hope so. I hope so. I hope new bands and artists can come out and have a level of success, at least enough of a level of success where they can make a living doing this.
Sure.
I'm all about supporting the arts, and I'm all about young musicians coming up. In fact, I have some young musicians in my band on this tour who I'm really happy with, who are doing a fantastic job. And I'm also incredibly excited about my daughter Emily's band, who's opening up quite a few of the shows on this tour with me. Her band is called Till Death Do Us Part.
Okay.
And it's her first tour on her own, and it's fantastic. She told me a couple years ago, she said, Dad, I think I want to be a musician. And I said, oh, that's great. I love that. If you need any help or need any pointers,
sure.
advice, you know where to look. And she said, yeah, sure. And then she didn't talk about it for like a couple of years. And then about a month and a half ago, she says, hey, you want to copy my new CD?
Oh, wow.
You made this CD? Really? Let me hear it.
Oh, wow.
I heard it, and she did it all on her own with her partner, Kieran Robertson.
Uh-huh.
They made this beautiful CD. It's just fantastic. So I said, well, why don't you come out on the road and open up for me. And so she is, and we're having a great time.
Geoff Tate's Operation Mindcrime up the road here in Janesville this Thursday night. Looking forward to have you guys back in the area here. That'll be great to hear you. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit before we let you go, just about your vocals. I'm sure you are somewhat of a creature of habit when it comes to warming up your vocals, the things that you do to prepare to go on stage or to go into the studio to record. Has that changed over the years in your career, or have you always kind of stayed with the same ideas and the same concepts as far as your vocal warm-ups?
Yeah, I guess I don't follow a strict vocal warm-up regime like some people do. I just sort of start talking, in the morning, and my warm-up starts with getting up in the morning. Well, first off, with opening my eyes and realizing I'm still here. Which
right.
Is good,
That's a great thing.
And then I just kind of start singing early on in the day and just continue all the way up until I go to bed. So it seems to work for me, Yeah, I think a lot of times singers especially, they get really obsessed and over their voice.
Sure.
And I think, always like wearing scarves and only drinking certain things.
Sure.
I just don't pay attention to that. I think if you bring all that stuff up all the time and constantly are concerned about it, you're going to have problems, And if you just live your life, be happy, experience every day like it's the first day, you're going to have a happy life and a good career.
I appreciate the time, Geoff. Thank you so much. We'll see you up there Thursday night.
My pleasure, Jack. Thanks for the interview. I really appreciate it, and hope to see everybody out at the show.